Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, subscribe, more videos on period. This video is about the ick feeling. Let's watch the video.
I need to talk about something that gives me the ick and just turns me off so badly, because this is now the second guy that I've had to cut things off with because he has shown me these kinds of behaviors and characteristics. Now, when it happened with the first guy, I told my friends about it and they were all like, Nicole, like, you're too picky, like, you get the ick too fast. No. And what I tell them is, you like what you like, I like what I like, and this is what I don't like. We're just different people, we have different preferences, but I just know that there are people out there that feel me, okay? So when it comes to dating, above anything else, above emotional maturity, humor, close to family, whatever, the most important qualities to me is confidence and authenticity. I need to be with someone who's confident, who's able to stand on their own 2 feet, who knows how to form their own opinions on things, and someone who knows how to make decisions confidently without just trying to impress me or make himself look good. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so I was talking to this guy for less than a week, okay? We didn't even go on a first date. We matched on Hinge. We were talking back and forth on Instagram. And there were things that he would say and do that was like building up to the point where I was like, okay, you are exhibiting the same kind of behavior as the first guy that I cut things off with. And the crazy thing is, it happened exactly a year apart, because the first guy happened January 2024 and now this guy is happening January 2025. But I made a whole list about him so that I will never forget how I felt about this situation. So let me refer back to my notes. Okay, number one, we were trying to make plans to meet in person. He goes, damn, I hope you don't hate me in person. Number two, he sends me selfies, and that's a whole nother thing. He would send just excessive photos on Instagram, and he'd be like, oh, if you couldn't tell, I really like sending and receiving photos. And I'm like, I could tell. Anyway, he sends me photos. I didn't like the photo, and he goes, damn, you're not even gonna like it or nothing? I didn't like it because I didn't like it. And then one morning he goes, good morning to Nicole and Nicole only. And I was just really icked out by that. And then I was telling him like, oh, it wasn't a good morning, I got really bad sleep, whatever. This man goes, what can I do to make it better? And I'm like, the fuck you mean? Like, are you gonna hypnotize my brain to make it think that I got 9 hours of sleep? Like, what do you mean, what can you do to make it better? And then, as I said before, we were trying to like make plans. I told him, oh, I'm free this Saturday. He goes, okay, that should work, let me check my calendar. Never confirmed, never got back to me. And then on Friday, he goes, oh, by the way, are you free for a date next Saturday? Because tomorrow I'm actually gonna go upstate for a photo shoot, because he has his own clothing brand. Like, at this point, I was kind of like getting the vibe that he was very insecure and just like attached way too early on. So I was thinking that I just didn't really want to hang out with him anymore. So I was just like, oh, like, you know, I might have plans next Saturday. Like, it's tentative, but it's, you know, I can let you know. And then I told him that my sister was coming over for the weekend and I'm gonna be hanging out with her. And he goes, damn, so it's either this Saturday or nothing at all? And I'm like, yeah, kind of. And he goes, okay, let me try to move around my photo shoot. And at this point, I'm just like, that is just so unattractive to me, because you have a whole ass business, you planned this whole ass photo shoot, and it's upstate, and just because I tell you that I'm not available when you say you're available, you're gonna try to move around your whole plans for me. And don't get me wrong, of course I want to be someone who makes time for me, you know, who's gonna put in effort to spend time with me, but I feel like that's more acceptable once we've actually met. Mind you, we haven't even met at this point yet. It's also more acceptable when you're like in an actual relationship and building that connection together, okay? Like, we haven't even met in person and this man is trying to move around all of his plans just to meet with me. And I'm like, okay, so after he said like, oh, I want to move around, I can move around my photo shoot, I was like, oh my god, no, like, don't do that. Like, you do not have to do that at all. And I'm like, you know, I'm with my sister all weekend anyway, like, we're gonna be hanging out. He goes, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. no, you weren't. You literally just said that you would move around your whole ass photo shoot for me. Like, what do you mean? That's what I was thinking too. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, these guys will just say anything to agree with you, to impress you. They don't know how to stand on their own 2 feet, and it just comes off as very inauthentic. And then eventually he goes, damn, why do I feel like we ain't gonna link? Sad face. Yeah, we're not. And I also sensed some insecurity when he would beat around the bush with a lot of things. So like before we moved on to Instagram, when we were just like DMing back and forth on Hinge, he was complimenting my style, and I was like, oh yeah, I really like the way you dress too. He goes, oh yeah, I have better pics on Instagram, and I'm sure you do too. Like trying to insinuate like wanting to follow each other on Instagram, but not outwardly saying it. So that was the first thing. And then like the second thing, we were talking and he goes, oh, are you the type of person that likes talking on the phone? And I'm like, yeah, like I like a good phone call. And he goes, yeah, same, especially if I really like you and like, you know, I want to make time for you. Like I love phone calls. And I'm just like, okay, are you trying to like talk on the phone? It's just like trying to like plant these little seeds so that I could outwardly say it, so that he won't have to get rejected if he's the one to ask it. You know what I mean? And so basically I just knew I had to cut it off after he was like, damn, we ain't gonna link. I feel like we ain't gonna link. So I was just like, hey, you know, like I've been reflecting on our conversation, and I just feel like it's not the right fit. It's just not what I'm looking for. Like I appreciated getting to know you. Best of luck. Not even 30 seconds later, he replies, he goes, damn, really? What made you think that, if you don't mind me asking? And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, like he's really about to ask me all the reasons why I don't like him. Like I'm not gonna just tell him that you're insecure and like you're way too eager right off the bat. Like I'm not gonna say that to you because I'm gonna hurt your feelings. So I was just like, I don't think I owe you an explanation. These are just like my personal reasons as to like what I'm looking for, and I think there's a fine line between being honest and too honest, so let's just leave it at that. And again, 10 seconds later, he goes, oh, sorry if I offended you in any way, because he thought that I meant that he said something to me that was too honest, but I was just like, no, that's not what I meant. What I meant was like, I don't want to be too honest with my reasons why. They're just personal to me. And he goes, okay, all I can do is respect that. And then I was just thinking about everything that he was saying and doing, and I was just like, just so icked out. Like, you know the feeling where you get just like the creepy crawling like feeling on your skin, and just like, ew, like why did I even like give my time and attention to someone like that? So I unfollowed him. I also removed him as a follower. This was maybe like Saturday night I removed him. Sunday I post a story on my Instagram. This man looked at my story. That means he went out of his way to go onto my Instagram. Instead of seeing the message button, he probably saw the follow button, which is very clear that we no longer follow each other. And he still went out of his way to click on my story. And I was just like, ew, I'm literally embarrassed for you. And then today I posted another story and he looked at it again. Like at this point, I think I have to block him. And I feel like some people might think like, oh, all of this is like not a big deal. You're just like emotionally unavailable. Like this is why you're single, blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, maybe you have a point, but it's just, these are the things that are important to me. Overall, I just feel like he showed way too much of a strong attachment and over-eagerness way too early. Again, let me remind you, we have not met in person yet. I also felt like he was projecting onto me rather than wanting to actually get to know me. And I am so used to guys liking the idea of me. Like, of course, every guy wants like a pretty girl linked on his arm, but like, really, do you even want to get to know her as a person? Like, do you even know me? And when they say, oh, I like you, I'm just like, what do you like? You know nothing about me. I just think it screams insecurity. He's trying too hard, and he's trying way too hard to get my validation and my approval. He's also way more concerned with agreeing with me rather than being confident in his own decisions and the things that he wants to say. But yeah, I'm gonna go block him now. I just need to share this and get this off my chest. I just hope there are other girls out there that relate and that would feel the same way as I would if you were in my situation.
Girl, you said it right on the button, because usually that is some of these guys out here do not know what they want. They have all these things going on. They have low self-esteem. They want you to like, I don't know, say gaslight it, but they kind of gaslight you to think that by the things that they say to see if you are both on the same page. And you know, it's like they have all these breadcrumbs and you gotta follow each breadcrumb. And sometimes girls are not like that. They don't have time for all that. You just have to be upfront, like, hey, I want to, you know, get to know you. I want to see where it's gonna go, and I want to interact with you. I want to take, you know, I want to hang out with you, whatever, you know. But just by talking to someone on the phone is still not enough. You gotta see the actions too. And you know, she knows what she wants, and she has every right to pick what she wants. Like if she doesn't want to be with him, and she's not in her head, because it's either now she figures it out, or later on into the relationship where she's like unhappy. So it's better she figures it out now than to wait so long and be unhappy in the relationship. So this is Life with Sean and Renee, and more videos are to come.